There's a level of discipline so extreme it doesn't even look human anymore. No motivation, no excuses, just movement, every single day. And once you understand how it works, you'll never see self-control the same way again. Part 1. The fear of unshakable consistency. There's a kind of discipline that makes people step back not because it's threatening, but because it's unsettling. You've probably met someone like that, the one who never skips a day, who wakes up at the same hour, does the same things, and never stops, not when tired, not when bored, not when no one's watching. Their energy feels almost unnatural, unbreakable. This is what I call the scariest level of discipline. Not because it's cruel or rigid, but because it's pure alignment between will and action. They're not trying to be disciplined, they are discipline itself. And that's what scares most people. When you see someone living with that kind of precision, something stirs inside you. You start realizing how often you've made excuses, how many times you've given up halfway. People don't fear the discipline, they fear the reflection of their own inconsistency. A Navy SEAL once said, "Discipline equals freedom." It sounds paradoxical until you experience it. Because the more you control yourself, the less you're controlled by moods, impulses, or chaos. Most people chase comfort, thinking it's freedom. But true freedom is waking up every day knowing you can trust yourself to do what must be done. Those who reach this level didn't start superhuman. They were average people who got tired of failing. One day, something snapped. They realized motivation wasn't enough. Apps, rewards, accountability partners, none of it worked. The only real change happens when you stop trying and start becoming. The scariest form of discipline isn't about endless checklists or 4 a.m. alarms. It's when you no longer ask, "Should I do this?" Because that question doesn't exist anymore. It's when "I'll try" turns into "This is who I am." That's where transformation begins. Part 2. The hidden architecture of unbreakable discipline. People who live at this level don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. Willpower is like a battery. It drains. Systems recharge themselves. Behind every unstoppable person lies a hidden architecture built on 4 pillars. Public declaration. Private promises are optional. Public ones are not. When you announce your goal to others, your primitive brain treats failure as a survival threat, the same instinct that once kept our ancestors alive in the tribe. Losing face equals losing safety. That's why public commitments are far more powerful than private intentions. Non-negotiable hours. The disciplined don't ask, "When should I do this?" They decide once and eliminate the question forever. When 5 a.m. arrives, they move. Not because they feel like it, but because there's no space for negotiation. Fixed time destroys procrastination. When time is constant, your brain can't argue with it. Fixed form practice. The secret isn't variety, it's consistency. Like Zen monks performing the same ritual for centuries, they repeat identical routines until the body learns without the mind's interference. The same order, the same duration, the same sequence until it becomes reflex. Science backs this. After roughly 66 days, the basal ganglia takes over, automating the behavior. At that point, it's no longer effort, it's identity. Pre-solutions. Ordinary people fail because of surprises. Rain, exhaustion, travel, low mood. The disciplined don't wait for problems, they pre-solve them. Rain, indoor workout. No gym, push-ups in the hotel room, hangover, 2 minutes of meditation, 1 page of reading. When X happens, do Y, no thinking, no decision, just execution. Once this structure is in place, discipline stops being a daily battle. It becomes a neurological pattern. Your brain stops wasting energy debating and uses it to act. MIT researchers found that repeating an action in the same context builds a neural groove like carving a path into the brain. The deeper the groove, the easier the flow. That's why people who seem disciplined aren't forcing themselves, they're simply following the architecture they've built. That's the real difference between those who last and those who quit. It's not that they're stronger, it's that they've removed the option of failure. And that's what makes them terrifyingly unstoppable. Part 3. The Rebirth. When discipline becomes identity. Something profound happens when you've lived with discipline long enough. One day you wake up and it's automatic. You don't think, do I feel like it? You just move. No hesitation, no internal debate. At that moment, you've crossed the line. From trying to being. This is the scariest part, not because it's extreme, but because it requires the death of your old self. The version of you that negotiated, delayed, and made excuses has to die. In its place is someone new, calm, relentless, consistent. But here's the catch. The world won't understand. People will tell you you're too obsessed, too rigid, not balanced. They're not actually worried about you. They're threatened by what you represent, proof that the excuses they've lived with aren't real. The truth is, discipline is not punishment. It's peace. When your actions align with your intentions, you stop living in guilt and start living in flow. You stop chasing motivation because you've become the kind of person who acts regardless of it. So, where do you start? Begin with a simple public declaration. Write one sentence. I am the kind of person who wakes up at 6 a.m. and writes one page every day for 90 days. Sign it. Say it out loud. Tell someone. Once you do, you've stepped beyond the point of return. After 30 days, you'll notice your body preparing before the alarm rings. After 60, stopping will feel harder than continuing. After 90, you'll realize you no longer do discipline, you are discipline. And then, people will look at you and whisper, he's not normal. She's obsessed. That level of consistency is scary. Smile when you hear it. Because that's how you know you've arrived at the level where most people only dream of going. The scariest level of discipline you've ever seen. Not because you're superhuman, but because you've been reborn from someone who tries into someone who does. In the end, the real battle was never against laziness, it was against the part of you that settles for less. Discipline isn't about control, it's about freedom. The freedom to trust yourself, to rise every day with purpose, and to know that no matter what happens, you'll show up. The story you've just heard isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about the quiet power of doing what you said you would do, even when no one is watching. Because one day, your consistency will speak louder than your words, and the world will call it obsession, but you'll know it's transformation. If this message moved you, subscribe to ThriveDaily and join a community of people building unstoppable habits and stronger minds. Your next level starts here, and your discipline is the key to unlocking it.